and CNN political analyst Asad Herndon. He is a national political reporter for the New York Times. So, guys, outside of the jockeying and outside of the chess game, I just want to put up again what this means for the American people, okay? What's at stake? So let's just dive into the child care and education portion. This is, let me see if this is what we have. Basically, I think that we have something different. Okay, here we go. Free daycare for lower-income families. Daycare subsidies for middle-class families, up to $14,000 or more. This is what would allow parents to go back to work, moms in particular. 2 years of free pre-K, same thing. Mothers could get back into the workplace. 2 free years of community college. What town doesn't need that? 12 weeks of paid leave to care for our sick or elderly family members. These, instead, are not partisan issues. These are human and American issues. And yet, is it fair to say that this is up to the Democrats? I mean, this lives or dies on whether the Democrats can get the caucus together.
Absolutely, and I think it is important to talk about the bill in those real human terms. We can throw around the price tag number, but this is basically the kind of core legislative promises that the Democratic Party has been running on and has promised its base for years, if not decades. These are not things that are outlier controversial issues. We're not talking about Medicare for all. We're not talking about the Green New Deal. We're talking about things that the large portions of the party universally agree on, large portions of the American public agree on. That it is Congress, it's Washington, and it is not set up to do that. It has structures that people like Sinema, people like Manchin have outsized power, and they are using that power to flex and have their own legislative priorities. This is not hyperbole to say this is a make or break week for that Biden agenda, but it's also just a basic form for the Democratic Party. Are we, with control of the House, Senate, and White House, will Democrats deliver on the baseline promises it told voters it would do? We're going to find out.
Charlie, you have been in these negotiations. You were in Congress. You know how the sausage is made. What's going to happen this week? Are they going to get it together?
Well, this is quite an end of fiscal year crack-up, to be sure. What I think is going to happen is that, they're going to probably have the vote on the infrastructure bill on Thursday. The reconciliation package is nowhere near ready, and the Democrats would be crazy to ask their moderates to vote for a bill that has zero chance of becoming law. So that's another issue. They will fund the government. I suspect if they don't come to an agreement on the debt ceiling, the Democrats would be smart to pass like a 2-week funding bill, send it to the Senate clean, no debt ceiling, and just to keep things going for a couple more weeks, give them a little more time. That's what I think could happen. The debt ceiling, of course, no one's going to crash through the debt ceiling. Too dangerous, too reckless. But again, how they get there is going to be the question. We're going to have a lot of drama between now and that debt ceiling vote.
And then, of course, all of this set against the backdrop of democracy in peril, and I don't think I'm overstating it. Obviously, we've all lived through an insurrection at this point. And so Congresswoman Liz Cheney went on television. She's been quite outspoken. She's not pulling any punches. She's talking about who she thinks is to blame. And last night on 60 Minutes, she talked about Kevin McCarthy.